Alrighty, guys. So this is our first demo. Couple things that you're going to notice about these is that you've got an activity number up here, and it didn't print on this one, but generally you'll see a little play symbol. It'll look like that next to the video, and that just means that there's a demo that goes along with it. Generally for these activities, I want to make sure that you put your name on yours. So you should put your name here. Okay, I'm just going to write demo, so you guys know what it is, okay? Now, generally what you're going to do with this sheet is use the elements and principles of design, the elements of art and the principles of design slides to kind of help you with this, but you can also use the internet to help you too. And really all it is just a space for us to kind of get to know how these different elements of art work with the principles of design. And you can, it says turn your paper sideways to complete, and you'll be able to see a little bit more here on camera if I do it this way. Just like in our slides, we've talked about the elements of art is what you actually use to make art. So, you know, you might use line and shape and value and all the different ones, right? And then these principles of design are usually what you use as a creative to make your art look better. And you can focus on a couple of these or even just one of them, depending on what you're making. Same thing with the principles, same thing with the elements of art. You might just use one or two of these to really focus on, and some of the others might kind of creep into your artwork. So how you're going to do this is you're actually just going to kind of treat this as a grid, and whatever two things sort of cross at that box is what you're going to use to make little mini drawings, okay? So like you can see here, pattern and shape. How could I do a pattern and shape? Well, I could do something like this, right? So you don't have to fill the whole box. It's just thinking about what you can use to do, you know, to create these things. Same thing with pattern and line. Maybe I do something like this. Okay. Don't copy me, do your own, but you can see there. Contrast in line. So contrast is where, you know, you have light lights and dark darks. How could you do that with line? Well, you could grab a hold of, let's say your black colored pencil, and you could fill the whole space, right? And do something like this. Remember, contrast is really, really dark and light lights. So you can see I've got my sheet on extra paper here. So am I using line and contrast? Yes, I am. Okay. If you're doing contrast in shape, for example, maybe you do something like this where you have a circle. You're deciding on a shape. And I'm going to push half of this really, really dark. Okay. So you can see right away I'm using my colored pencils for this. You might not be able to get by with just pencil. And maybe I decide to color the background in on this side. Again, you know, you guys can do other ideas. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. I would encourage you to explore with your own. But you can see here I'm exploring contrast, which is light lights and dark darks, and shape at the same time. Okay? You're going to kind of continue through, and you know, you can jump around and do this however you want, whatever you feel you know, makes it easiest for you. Another example would be like balance and color. Okay, so with balance, we're talking about sort of a visual balance of having the same thing, you know, going where it feels centered or it feels like it's got balance. So if I did balance and color, maybe I do something like this where I've got one color and I sort of overlap another color. And you can make these as pretty as you want. You know, take your time. It shouldn't look like you rush through it, you know, completely. But you can see here I'm really kind of pushing my colors to make them look nice. Okay, so do I have color with balance? Yes, I do, because I have kind of like a balanced composition here. Okay, form is 3D. Texture is like where something looks like it has texture. Value is lights and darks. So it's similar to contrast, but value could also have grays in the middle. So with value and pattern, maybe you're doing something where you're exploring like a super dark circle and a gray triangle and a super dark circle, right? Because we're doing pattern in that gray triangle. So you can see I'm exploring different value there, okay? And you can look up some of these. The other thing you can do if you're really struggling with this is to go online and like literally do a Google search of like unity and texture and see what comes up. Something might spark your idea, but the goal here is to have a representation of each combination of each principle of design along with the element of art. Okay, and you're just going to kind of work your way through this. It shouldn't take you too long. You're going to have some time to work on it in class. Alrighty, guys. So good luck with that, and I'll see you in the next video.